Hi, I'm Dimitri. I am an artist, prospective art teacher, and former help group student. I was diagnosed with autism at age 2.
We started noticing that he wasn't really talking much. We could tell he was really smart, but he wouldn't answer to his name. My adoptive mom said, I think something's going on here. He's not communicating. She came over and she just looked at me and she said, Nikki, I think Dimitri's autistic. I just didn't want to hear it.
I didn't really like school, and I think that's because I had to adhere to this schedule. I didn't have the same sort of restraint or discipline as a lot of these kids, so I would just cause havoc.
He was very disruptive to the class, always saying things that made people laugh.
I struggled to socialize, obviously, but I always felt very different. I was like the class jester.
I was doing research on the internet and I saw that there was this thing called the help group. I noticed they have schools for kids with all these differences. I put them in my minivan and I drove cross country by myself with these two boys.
I was determined to get them into the help group, and it paid off. Dr. Lori Stevens did this thing in Irvine, and I went to it and I started talking to her. She asked to meet Dimitri.
Most behavior should be considered communication. When you see young children, especially like Dimitri, who was only 4 years old at the time, who's having a lot of behavioral difficulties at home and at school, you really want to try and figure out what is he trying to communicate.
They saw that he needed more advanced reading. It got him motivated. The only time he really wasn't out of control behaviorally is when he was doodling. They started allowing him to doodle.
I always loved drawing the characters from media that I was into as a kid.
At the end of his junior year, he said to me, I'm going to go to art school. Within a week, he had sketches of robots and dinosaurs. I'm like, I did not know that he could actually draw. I was just absolutely blown away. He's achieved stuff that when he was little, we didn't think he was going to achieve.
I thank you guys for supporting them and for, being there for our family. We just had amazing support there. I can always call somebody.
I think we were trying to find the right place, and I think the help group was that right place.